Good morning, first grade Cumberland Bears. We're moving up. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2020. I am so happy to be with you today. Remember our SEL word for the month of May? Encourage. That's correct. I am so encouraged every day that I get to spend with you and seeing how much that you have learned. I cannot wait to be with you tomorrow on our Zoom meeting. On Tuesday, you watched Jack and the Beanstalk Part 1. Remember that your purpose for listening was to decide if you thought Jack had made a good trade or not to the man. If you think that Jack made a good trade with the man, give me a thumbs up. If you think that Jack did not make a good trade with the man, give me a thumbs down. On Friday, you will need to be able to state why or why not the trade was fair or not fair. Remember, friends, I always want you to think about the story and what you have listened to or what you have read. And part of that is called comprehension. And comprehension is being able to tell what you've read about and answer some questions about what you've read about. So I want to go back over our comprehension questions for Jack and the Beanstalk Part 1. So listen, do you think Jack made a good trade when he traded Milky White for beans? Why or why not? Why do you think the man traded the beans for the cow? Do you think it was a fair trade? Who are the characters? And where did the story take place in the first part of the fairy tale? In the fairy tale, Jack and the Beanstalk, what was fantasy and what was reality? Remember, friends, this is our graphic organizer, and I want you to look at all of the elements that are in the fairy tales. You will notice that there are settings, which is when and where, characters, which in fairy tale could be real or magical. Then there's fantasy, such as events that would only really take place in a fairy tale. What are the problems? And how are they solved? The solutions. And then we also have the ending. How does our fairy tale end? I am going to show you how to use a blank sheet of paper to make a graphic organizer. Then you will be able to make your own graphic organizer. I want you to put your graphic organizer in a safe place for tomorrow's Zoom meeting. What is a Zoom meeting? I'm glad you asked. Does this picture look familiar? It does. It's our classroom. And look, you're in there working so hard. So a Zoom meeting is like having class together, but we will be on the computer instead of our classroom. I cannot wait to see you. So I want you to watch me make a graphic organizer. When it's your turn to make a graphic organizer, all you will need is a sheet of paper and something to write with. I have a sheet of paper, and I'm going to fold it into a hamburger style. And then I'm going to fold it again in half. And then one more time into another half. Let me show you that again. I have a sheet of paper. I am going to fold it hamburger style. Fold it in half. It should look like that. Make it even at the top. And then I'm going to fold it in half again. See that? And then I'm going to take that part and fold it in half. When you open it up, friends, you will see that you have 8 sections in your graphic organizer. Now, to save time, I've gone ahead and I have written some of what you're going to need on the graphic organizer. So you will have your characters, which are real or magical, your setting, where and when the story takes place, fantasy events, right here. Then you're going to have your problems and solutions and the ending. Now, the only thing that you are going to focus on for this week is going to be characters, setting, and the ending to as far as we have listened to our story. So you are going to go ahead and make your whole entire graphic organizer, like Miss Osborne has, and you are going to fill in the characters that have already been introduced in the story. Where has Jack gone? Where has he been? What, where, and when? Then you're going to write what has happened so far in part 1 up to the ending. Okay, friends? So you can go back and rewatch the video if you need help making your graphic organizer. So Miss Osborne has put the story Jack and the Beanstalk Part 1 in this PowerPoint so that you can fill out your graphic organizer that you made. I want to leave you with a message of how proud I am of you for giving this whole week a go, because we've never done this before. And I want you to know that I am proud of you. I love you. I miss you from the bottom of my heart. And I cannot wait to see you tomorrow.
At a time there was a poor widow who had an only son named Jack and a cow named Milky White. All they had to live on was the milk the cow gave every morning, which they carried to the market and sold. But one morning Milky White gave no milk. "Oh, Jack," said the poor widow, wringing her hands, "we have nothing to eat and no money. We must sell poor Milky White." "Cheer up, mother," said Jack. "It's market day today. I'll sell Milky White, then we'll be better off, you'll see." So Jack took the cow and started down the road. He had not gone far when he met an unfamiliar old man. The old man said, "Good morning, Jack. "Good morning to you," said Jack, as he wondered how the old man knew his name. "Well, Jack, where are you off to?" said the man. "I'm going to the market to sell our cow there." "Oh, yes, you look like just the sort of fellow to sell a cow," said the man. "Now I wonder," he asked Jack, "do you know how many beans make 5?" Jack thought this was a strange question, but he answered anyway. "2 beans in each hand and 1 bean in your mouth. That makes 5." "Right you are," said the old man, and then, pulling something out of his pocket, he said, "And here they are." He held out 5 very unusual beans. "Now, because you're such a smart fellow," he said to Jack, "I will trade you these beans for your cow." "Well now," said Jack, "that would be a nice trade for you." "Ah, but you don't know what kind of beans these are," said the man. "If you plant them tonight, then by morning they will grow right up to the sky." "Really?" said Jack, who was beginning to get interested. "Yes," said the man, "and if it doesn't turn out to be true, then you can have your cow back." "All right, then," said Jack. He gave the man the cow, took the beans, and went home. "Jack, are you back already?" said his mother. "I see you've sold Milky White. How much did you get for her?" "Mother, you'll never guess," said Jack. "Oh, you good boy," said his mother. "Did you get 5 or 10, maybe even no, it can't be 20?" "I told you that you couldn't guess," said Jack. Then reaching into his pocket, he said, "See here, mother, I got 5 beans. You plant them, and then overnight they—" "What?" cried his mother. "What? Beans? You gave away my Milky White for beans? How could you? Off to bed with you, and no supper. And as for your precious beans, here they go, out the window." So Jack went to his little attic room without dinner, and where he flopped down, and finally he fell asleep. Oh, but when he woke up, the room looked funny. The sun was shining into part of it, but all the rest was dark and shady. He jumped up and went to the window. And what do you think he saw? What do you think? Why, the beans his mother had thrown out the window had landed in the garden, and overnight they had sprung up into an enormous beanstalk, which went up and up and up till it reached the sky. So the old man had been telling the truth. The beanstalk grew right up to Jack's window. All he had to do was step out onto it and then start climbing it like a ladder. So Jack climbed, and he climbed, and he climbed until at last he reached the sky. And when he got there, he saw a long, straight road. He followed the road until he came to a great big, tall house. And on the doorstep there was a great, big, tall woman. "Good morning, ma'am," said Jack very politely. "Could you be so kind as to give me some breakfast?" "Oh, so you want breakfast?" said the great big tall woman. "Well, you'll be breakfast. You'll be breakfast if you don't get out of here. My husband is a fierce giant, and there's nothing he likes better than a nice cooked boy on buttery toast. You'd better get going, for he'll be coming soon." Oh, please, ma'am," said Jack. "I haven't eaten since yesterday. Really and truly." Well, the giant's wife wasn't so bad after all. She took Jack into the kitchen and gave him a chunk of bread and cheese and a jug of milk. But Jack hadn't half finished those when thump, 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 the whole house began to tremble with the noise of someone coming. Someone big.